Dirty, brown-looking tires significantly degrade the appearance of your vehicle. And in today's video, I'm gonna show you how I remove the browning safely, right? You wanna do it safe. You don't wanna go crazy if you don't need to. Do the bare minimum to get the result that you want so you're not over degrading the tire. And then how to shine it up for a long-lasting result that's gonna make your car look great. But there's more than one cause for tires turning brown. Obviously, when we talk about surface contamination, that brown surface laying on the top, that can just be from dirt on the roads or brake dust combining with moisture in the air and laying on a thick layer of brown dust on your tire. But there's also more natural causes like UV exposure and also the ingredients of the tire starting to bloom out. There's a lot of additives in a tire, and we're gonna talk about that right now. If you were to look at natural rubber, it's not black. It's kind of a light gray, kind of a natural color. But they add lots of fillers and ingredients to get the end result for the tire. Things like carbon black and silica are there to reinforce the tire, also give it that nice dark color, and then silica actually reduces the rolling resistance of the tire. Now they also add antioxidants and anti-ozones. Now antioxidants help to prevent the rubber from breaking down to the effect of temperature and oxygen exposure, and anti-ozones are used to impede the effect of exposure to ozone on the surface of the tire. Now there's other items in the tire as well that over time can start to bloom and come to the surface. That also can cause browning of your tire, and those ones you don't necessarily want to completely remove because it's essential to the tire's longevity. But don't worry, because regular cleaning and maintenance of your tires can help prolong the life of it, keep the browning away, and keep everything looking nice. But since we're talking about things turning brown when we don't want them to, I want to thank today's sponsor, Sunday. Sunday is lawn care made easy with everything from nutrient packs that you can use to fertilize your lawn, as well as weed control and pest control products. Sunday's simple and powerful ingredients are backed by nature and made using cutting-edge plant science. They use no harsh or unwanted chemicals, just mystery-free ingredients that you can trust. They're planet-friendly and designed with your family and pets in mind. The nutrient pouches are super easy to use. Just hook it up to your garden hose and start spraying to keep your lawn looking fresh, green, with zero pesticides. The ordering process is super easy. You just put in your address, it gives you an aerial view of your property, and they give you a basic assessment of what you need. And the best part is you can get expert advice from their team of lawn care advisors, and everything ships directly to you for free. Now, along with the nutrient pouches that keep your lawn looking great, I personally have a lot of weeds around my property, and they got you covered there as well. You got Weed Warrior ready to use, and then we also have Weed Warrior concentrate. So you can put this in a sprayer, go around, and kill all the weeds around your property.
So head over to getsunday.com/JoshV and use code JOSH30 to get 30% off your first custom lawn plant.
So again, go check out Sunday, getsunday.com, link down in the description, and keep your lawn looking right. Now let's get back to the video. Okay, now let's head outside and show you the process on how I treat these brown tires.
All right, guys, so here's my wife's truck. This is a Ram Rebel, about 6 months old. Now, one thing that we can do, again, the tires haven't been treated. Only one actually has, but this, we want to inspect it and see what date the tires are. So if we look around the side here, there's a little code. Let me flip this over for you. As you can see, it says 1723. So these tires were actually manufactured the 17th week of 2023. So although the truck is basically 6 months old since we bought it from the dealership, the tires are significantly older than that, right? Now, again, like we talked about, it could be just surface contamination on the tire, but it also can be blooming where the additives are coming to the surface. And again, this is the result we don't want, right? We don't want it looking like this because that looks terrible, right? You can see all the browning in here, right? And you can see this one's interesting. It's kind of two sections. Usually the whole thing will be brown. I don't know if it's because of the white wall lettering, but it is what it is. So I'm going to show you a before and after here because I did treat one tire five weeks ago, guys, here. And I'll go over the process here shortly and show you exactly what products I used. But here's the before and after. So here's the back tire before. You see all the browning and everything in it, really dirty. And this is the tire that I did 5 weeks ago and have not touched since then. So it's not like it's got a super high gloss to it anymore, but it looks fantastic. It's nice and dark, uniform color. It looks like a really natural, kind of newer tire versus just a super glossy thing. Now, of course, when we apply the dressing, it will go on glossy, but this product makes it look fantastic.
So the first thing we want to do when assessing the tires, right, to see how deep we need to go, start off with just your basic rinse. Just hit it with your pressure washer, rinse it off, dry that area, and then visually inspect it to see if any of it came off.
All right, guys, so just after a quick rinse, right, you can see I just dried this one section. You can still brown. Better, all right, already a little bit better. Pretty white and chalky, but again, You don't want to remove things that are in the additives in the tire that you don't have to. So we're gonna keep this pretty basic. Now, I shouldn't be doing this in direct sunlight, but this car has not been driven. The wheels are cool to the touch, no big deal there. So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and clean the wheel first as well, or along with it at the same time. I'm not gonna go into the wheel well or anything like that. That's not what today's video is about, but here we go.
So because this tire is still brown, we're gonna go ahead and treat it, and I'm gonna be using Kokemi Alkali Wheel Cleaner on this. It's just a higher alkaline product, higher pH. I have it diluted 3:1, and I'm gonna spray it onto the surface and then let that dwell. You'll see in a second. So we're gonna go ahead and jump into the video, and you can see it's starting to dissolve the brown right away.
All right, so I'm just spraying this with Alkali Wheel Cleaner from Kokemi. There's a million products that you can use for this, but I like this one a lot because it's good for the wheel as well. But as you can see, the product is basically just like a light yellow because it's diluted down. But as you can see, as I'm spraying it, look at all the brown coming out of this. It's already starting to dissolve that stuff away, right? We don't have to go crazy with it, but you can see on the ground, look at all that stuff coming off. Now, I'm gonna let that dwell. I'm also gonna go ahead and hit the tire, or sorry, the wheel, right? Make sure I get it in every angle. That's good. We're gonna take a nice soft tipped brush. This one in particular is from Adams, but it's nice and soft. We're just gonna agitate the face of the wheel real quick. Again, while it's lubricated, right? You don't wanna do this dry, but as it's lubricated, we're good to go. All right, now that we have that agitated, I'm gonna reload it again with the Alkali Wheel Cleaner. Just the face, just to keep it wet. I don't want this drip product drying onto the surface. Okay, I'm gonna hit the tire again. Okay, now I'm gonna take a stiffer brush. I like this one a lot. This is one I sell on my website. For larger tires though, I like it because it's contoured. It is a stiffer brush though, so you wanna be careful. You don't wanna agitate like crazy like that with this one. You can really just go pretty softly. Look, I'm stripping off a bunch of the excess product from the wheel well as well, or sorry, from the white wall. And that should clean up pretty nicely here. That's an interesting thing with these Ram Rebels. They always ship them with the white wall out, which is interesting because most companies don't do that anymore. All right, I'm gonna go to a stiffer handled brush right here. This is from Adams as well, and just agitate. All right, guys, now that that's done, as you can see, it's a much more uniform look. Now, there's still some agitation that I could have done more up there. Again, with these heavier tread marks, it's a bit harder for sure, but the tire is now clean, right? Nothing's coming off of it. Alternatively, like if we go to the back tire again, you can see tons and tons of dirt and build up on there. You can see it just kind of moves around. Very dirty on my finger now, but you can see it's moving off. It is scrubbing out. So that's good. We are all prepped for that wheel.
Now, after doing that whole process, as you saw, the surface of the tire is clean. I could have gone with a more aggressive cleaner. I could have gone with a more aggressive brush. I didn't want to do that because I don't want to accidentally pull out some of the ingredients in that tire that help to make it last longer, right? I don't want it to crack over time. I want to keep it nice and basic, get the result that I'm looking for without overdoing it. There's no need to overdo it. I think a lot of people talk about detailing and they talk about going all in and getting your paint completely perfect. And a lot of times for the daily drivers, guys, it's just not it's just not realistic because you're driving it. Stuff's gonna happen to it, and if you're constantly fighting to keep your paint absolutely perfect, you're wearing down that clear coat. There's only so much clear coat that you have. You're working within that to keep the paint looking perfect and remove scratches and marring and all that kind of stuff. And eventually, you're gonna go through that over time, right? So least invasive process first, get the desired results, and then go from there. And again, if you do that and just maintain your vehicle properly, you're not gonna have to do the heavy lifting that can cause issues over time. So now let's go ahead and dress these tires up. Again, this is the same product that I used on that one tire that was 5 weeks ago. Here we go.
All right, guys, now next up, I'm gonna show you the product that I used on the other side of that of the truck, on that front wheel, that looks still quite good after 5 weeks. And that is this product here, Carglow Aquashine. This is a local manufacturer to me. I've used this stuff for a long time. It's very cost effective, water-based, easily sprayable solution. So I can actually spray it in here and get it all into the grooves, okay? So that's nice. You don't want to overload this because then you're gonna get fling, but you just want to give it a nice light coating. And obviously you can just apply this with a brush as well, which is what I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna grab another soft tipped brush, load a little bit of it onto the brush itself, and then rub it in with it here. again, because I have the heavy treads, I am laying this in pretty thick, and that is going to cause me to get some buildup around here. So I will have to go back and address that, or take the blower and just blow it out. So just remember to do that. Otherwise, you're going to drive away and it's going to fling down the side of the truck. All right, guys. So there is the final result. Looking fantastic. Again, it's this or this, right? So this is looking phenomenal. It's still a little bit of bunch, a little heavier gloss up here. That's just that because of the treads, but that'll blend in a second here as it continues to dry out. I already did blow it, so we shouldn't have any sling, but that's just still leftover stuff. It'll probably sling if they were to drive off right away, but again, a few minutes and that'll be all good. So as you can see, the tire looks nice and uniform now, right? There's still that weird little separation here, but that's no big deal. You don't want to overdo it, especially this truck is driven this is a daily driver. If it was a show car, yeah, I might go a little bit deeper. But again, you're working within a balance of taking away things that should be there. So you don't want to do that. You want to take it very nice and simple. Now, if we were to look at the tire that is on the other side, right? This tire still looks great. And if you rub it, it's got a little bit, that's just from the dressing on there. Well, yeah, so that's all just leftover dressing. Now, with this one, we could essentially just foam our soap on as we're washing the truck, give it a little wipe, or even just rinse it off and then reapply our dressing, and it'll stick properly. It's gonna do a good job of holding on there. So as long as you maintain your tires, you're not gonna have to do the really, really heavy decontamination like I just did with this one. And that's what you want, right? You wanna maintain it. The tire dressing is gonna have UV inhibitors in it, so it's gonna help prevent it from cracking and fading over time. Yeah, there you go.
So there you have it, guys. There's the end result. I think it looks fantastic. Again, a little glossy right now because I just laid it on pretty thick. There's a few other items that I would like to use when I apply my tire dressing. The Autofiber Saver applicators, tire saver applicators, I have them available on my site. I'll also link them to Amazon for you guys down in the description, along with everything else that I used. Those are fantastic. It's basically a little piece of a little block with a microfiber, like almost like a twist loop on one side. Works fantastic. But again, with that larger tread, spraying directly is really kind of the easiest way, and then mopping it up so you're not getting a lot of fling. And with that said, please make sure to like the video, make sure you're subscribed, turn on that notification bell, and we will see you on the next one.